Have you ever been so bored that your brain actually started generating its own loading screen? That was me in 10th grade, staring down a clock that refused to move. But everything changed the day my mom came home from Costco with the holy grail of snacks, a massive box of Mega-Sour Fruit Gushers. The school had just banned all junk food, so when I walked into the cafeteria, I wasn't just a sophomore anymore. I was a black market dealer. I sold my first pouch to a desperate kid for a cool $5 bill. That's a 500% profit margin, and my inner entrepreneur immediately took over. By week 2, I was rapidly sorting through inventory before first period even started. I had to set up a strict system. No deals out in the open, everything had to be highly calculated. Every time I looked at a classmate, all I could see were dollar signs. The cash was stacking up so fast I literally didn't know where to hide it all. I started forming alliances, turning casual buyers into loyal, everyday clients. I was sprinting down hallway C between periods, executing transactions at lightning speed. It was a delicate, high-wire balancing act, keeping up with the insane school-wide demand. I felt completely untouchable, leaning against the lockers and counting my daily cut. But when you run an empire, a shadow is always bound to creep up behind you. Enter Marcus, the head hall monitor. A 17-year-old absolute unit who ruled the quarters with an iron fist. He didn't care about hall passes. He cared about power, and his stare could freeze you in place. One Tuesday, he caught me mid-deal. His massive hand hit my chest like a brick wall. He snatched my inventory out of the air, looking at me like I was absolute dust. I stood there, knees shaking, waiting for the inevitable trip to the office, but he didn't snitch. Instead, he leaned in and whispered, 30% cut of everything, or you're done. Just like that, I was officially being extorted by a teenager in a neon vest, reluctantly handing over my profits. Every single Friday, he'd be waiting for me, tapping his foot and demanding his bribe. He was slowly stripping away everything I had built, taking all the credit and the cash. Marcus would just walk away laughing, counting the money he did absolutely zero work for. But by month 2, Marcus got greedy. He looked at me and said, 50%. Starting now. I started sweating bullets. Giving up half my business meant the entire operation was dead. When I told him no, he gave me one last terrifying glare and warned me I'd regret it. He forced my hand for the last time, taking a massive cut right then and there. I hid in the shadows, watched him count my hard-earned cash, and realized I needed a new plan. I stood under the harsh hallway lights, realizing Marcus was a liability that needed to be eliminated. Then, a brilliant, beautiful trap formed in my mind. I ran to my locker at top speed and began completely clearing out the entire supply. Meanwhile, just as I suspected, a smug Marcus was busy writing a full snitch report to the administration. He took it straight to the principal, a man whose terrifying shadow loomed over the entire student body. Marcus told him everything, causing the principal to slam his fist down in a total rage. The principal pointed aggressively toward the door, yelling, "Bring me Leo and search his locker." The two of them marched down the hallway like an angry mob, ready to take me down. But they were too slow. Minutes earlier, I had passed the entire briefcase of inventory to my buddy Kevin. Kevin was terrified, struggling to jam 400 boxes of sour gushers into his own locker. Right on cue, the principal grabbed me by the collar in front of everyone. Marcus stood there looking incredibly smug, pointing right at my locker door. The hallway went silent as the principal put the key in the lock and turned it. They both leaned forward with greedy, triumphant smiles, expecting to find a drug bust-level hoard of candy. Instead, a single, lonely piece of crumpled notebook paper slowly drifted out of the empty locker. They both froze, staring into the empty metal void in absolute, jaw-dropping shock. The principal picked up the crumpled paper. Written on it in big, bold letters were 2 words, "Nice try." The principal's face instantly turned a glowing, furious red as he turned around to look at Marcus. Marcus visibly shrank, stuttering and trying to explain where the snacks went. I just stood there, hands behind my back, looking like the most innocent student in school history. The principal snapped, screaming directly into Marcus's face for wasting his valuable time with a prank. He snatched the hall monitor pad right out of Marcus's hands and tore it to pieces. I looked right at the imaginary camera and gave it a solid, well-deserved wink. I walked away completely clean, while the principal ordered Marcus to head straight to detention. Marcus spent the next 3 weeks scrubbing the cafeteria floors in absolute misery. As for me, I quietly retrieved my briefcase from Kevin's locker and gave him a generous cut for his help. I sat out on a park bench that afternoon, relaxed, completely surrounded by my untouched profits. I tossed my underground outfit in the trash, My short-lived career as a snack king was officially over. If you enjoyed this high school heist, do me a huge favor, smash that subscribe button right now. And let me know in the comments, what's the craziest thing that ever got smuggled into your school? See ya.